Maybe that one time I opened a beer and it exploded all over the microphone.
Yes. So I found out a secret piece of information while Neil and I were taking a break between the episodes, and that is that the Tucker Under is never a car that actually existed.
You dick!
Oh,
you
shit!
dick! We came in with so many fake facts.
Yeah,
Why did you sell us out?
So he only told me that one, and you know what? I have to take it. I have to take it on myself that I actually bought that shit because Tucker Under. Really?
You know, we have a responsibility to communicate accurate information. I recognize that y'all are a bunch of amateurs, but you should grab your balls and get your shit together because we are living in a new goddamn era, motherfuckers. Facts matter.
Although,
Sorry.
hold on. Tucker Under, you guys.
It was so good when you said it last time. I was like, gold, that's gold.
Because everybody believed him.
I'll commit to that lie so hard.
Okay, here we are. Dudelander, Season 1, Part 2. I'm Julie.
I'm Allison.
I'm Neil.
I'm Kevin.
And I'm Jameen. Hi.
I'm Jameen.
Sorry, fucking OE is still in my body.
Yeah. So, just so you guys know, Neil, first of all, sorry, that was my
okay?
cat. Yeah, she's fine. Neil
Your cat's fine. I'm
Kevin.
allergic to your cats.
and Janine, all three drank 40s of OE before this episode. So, as always, it's the pattern. The second episode recorded on any given day is always the sloppier.
I would also like you guys to know that I am now. What the fuck time is it?
6:02.
I am now going into my 8th hour of podcasting for the day. No, seventh hour. It doesn't matter. It feels like a goddamn eternity. I've earned every sip of this. Oh, we didn't talk about what we were drinking last episode because
Nope.
we were so caught up in the old
Old E is what we were drinking last episode.
I wasn't. I
so-
wouldn't let that shit touch my lips.
No, I never bought it for you. That's for dudes, for Dudelander only.
Anyway, Julie and I were drinking Le Tube, a wild farmhouse ale from Weiner Beer Company, another great Chicago brewery, where I've never been but would like to go. I like every Weiner I've had so far. And I mean in beer cans, not in the sack. I hate a Weiner in the sack.
And Janine's been drinking ever since he drowned his OE. He's been drinking the Pugilist Cabernet Sauvignon from South Australia. So he's
Available at Rogers Park Provisions.
he got extra fancy. But here we
I
are.
had to make up for that fucking experience.
He was very mad about drinking the OE.
Never again. Oh, I'm sorry. We're going to do another Dudelander. You're going to drink another OE. Stop being a turd.
All right, so here we are.
I will definitely.
Season 1, Part 2.
Oh.
We start with the reckoning. Whatever, we're not going to go episode by episode. We
Sure.
realize that way is
But which
folly.
one is this?
The reckoning is when fucking
the
Jamie comes in the
spanking.
window, and then he
Comes in the
laughs,
window, he
"Ha ha."
spanks her. That's all one episode?
Yeah,
That's
and
crazy.
then the knife sex.
Happens the same.
Knife sex.
Knife
Oh,
sex.
nice sex.
Knife sex is great.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
Oh, we'll get there. We're going to do our pillars again.
We're there.
So,
Oh.
well, hold on. Remember how we started. If you can remember anything from the second half of the season, from when Jamie rescues Claire
Right.
to the horrible end,
To
what are-
Jamie being a weak seaman.
yeah, what are some things that stood out to you?
Yeah, what do you remember?
Oh, boy.
This
Favorite
is
moments.
rough again because Kevin and I, in our sort of huddle session last night, we watched the last two episodes. So they're both very fresh. Those are very fresh in our mind.
Can I talk about what to me was the first moment of this show that I put down the Sudoku and actually turned my head? Or
Yes.
is that like its own
Yes.
thing?
No,
This
no,
is
no,
the-
no.
This is that
because-
time?
Yes,
It's
is
the
that time.
moment
It's that
that
time.
stuck
We
with
will
you.
spend a lot of time talking about this particular episode. We may as well kick it off now.
1966, 68. Yeah, it's been a while since I watched it. That's the moment when Leary,
Gayless.
whatever. 40.
Whatever.
Oh, man.
40. It's 40 time.
Kevin's, this is going to be a good episode for you.
Yeah, no, I'm all about facts on this episode. That's when she realized, or when she revealed that she was also a time traveler. It was a moment for me when I went, oh, this show went from being a time traveling costume drama with one woman that was like, she traveled through time, and how does she get through and survive? And she finds this much better mate for herself than Frank's, hashtag Team Frank. To have Leary say that, and then all of a sudden,
Galus.
whatever.
Hold on. Galus is the redhead. That's all you need to remember.
Listen, I want to call her Red Tights, but I don't want to ruin anything.
That's not Galus. Well,
Yes,
that
red
is
tights is
Galus.
Galus.
No,
That's later.
what you're saying is when you discovered that it's more like Highlander, right? That
When I
there
was like-
are others,
and there can be
and
only
occasionally
one.
their paths will cross.
And Christopher Lambert is totally in, but Connery is phoning it in. Yeah. No, when I realized that it was more than just Claire, and it was a moment that I didn't expect to come in the show.
Yeah.
It made me put down the Sudoku, and I didn't care about the time or point value I was getting from not participating, but I sat up and I went, this is a thing. This isn't what I thought it was. You've changed the game and you have my attention.
All right, cool. Neil, do you have any moments of interest
Yeah,
from the
particularly
second half?
favorite moment or anything.
You already said something about the knife sex.
I will absolutely say that knife sex is my favorite part of the second half of the season. Abso-fucking-lutely. It was so good.
Well,
It is the only part of the second half of the season he has seen.
I'll tell you that after rewatching, after not rewatching, for me watching for the first time the last 2 episodes last night, the thing that's been on my mind the most since we watched Wentworth Prison and To Ransom a Man's Soul, and while The Devil's Mark is, I think one of the before would have been my most mind-searing episode. I think the thing that jumps out to me the most is that cows are a plan.
19 cows.
They
now you
are
got
a
something.
plan. They are a plan.
And how did that plan not kill him?
Bovino es un schemo.
You said it last night, and it's still funny.
What? Oh, God damn it.
Boy.
Okay, so we got your favorite moments. Great.
Great.
Now let's move to characters. In the second half, you have a little bit more Leary. You have a little bit more Father Bane.
You got a lot more Blackjack Randall.
You got a lot more Blackjack Randall.
Like girthy Blackjack Randall.
Oh.
Come on.
Oh, we get a lot more. It was sitting there. Whatever. I hate all of you.
It was hanging there. Oh, Sophie.
Our cat is
Trying to strangle.
She's ready this time.
getting in the mix right now.
Just like the second episode forever, it's going to be messier. So, what do you guys think about character in the second half of season 1?
I mean, it's still it's Galus and Blackjack Randall for me, and this again, just not. I'm setting the 2 leads aside because obviously they're the 2 leads and they're fairly good at the jobs.
I think in the second half you get Murtaugh. I think Murtaugh's shining moment in the first half is in Sassenach, where he jumps down and saves Claire, and then he kind of gets pushed to that milieu of just dirty people that live in the castle.
But in part 2, we get the whole road movie.
Yeah, you get which you get more of him, but you also get, while that is dumb and terrible, you get Murtaugh saying, "I made a promise to his mom to always look after Jamie as his godfather."
Can I just say, Tusk?
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Neil. You also get some Murtaugh. Obviously, we're big Pamplemousse fans here at the Podlander Drunk Cast. But among the other gems, so we get the grumpy Murtaugh dancing. Even if you hate the roadshow, you must love Murtaugh being cranky about other people's dancing. We get Murtaugh and Jamie's scene that's entirely in Gaelic.
That's true.
That is
And
such a
that's-
good fucking scene.
The way you guys described that and then looking up the description of that, fuck.
It was
so good.
just so good. But in the first half, I mean, we're not there anymore, but you also get Murtaugh talking about how Claire's smile is as sweet as Jamie's mom's smile after he's being all grumpy about stealing the. Never mind, it doesn't matter. We really love Marta.
That was the stable scene where he went to the widow's house and got the Fraser kilt. Anyway, move on.
I need another standout. I need another standout character.
If you've got one.
Yeah, hit us.
All right, give me 6 minutes of dead air, and I'll think of somebody.
Come on.
Okay, and go.
No,
I
We
really
haven't
wish you would have
mentioned
hit yourself
somebody
in
you
the
gave
face.
a
on
nickname
that.
to yet.
King Ricketts?
well, there's King Ricketts.
Who has some good stuff in the second half.
He does.
So does
Do your
Gilf
listeners
Golf.
know who King Ricketts is at this point?
If you
If they've
haven't
only been listening
listened
to
to
season
the season 2 episodes yet,
I think by the name you know who King Ricketts is.
King Ricketts is Kevin's name for Laird Colin Mackenzie.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, titles mean nothing to me. No,
Played
your first
by
shot
the
of him.
terrific Gary Lewis, not Jerry Lewis.
Gary
that's,
Lewis.
that's somebody else.
You get a shot of those shoes. They go right up to his weird, crooked Ricket legs, and that's how you're introduced to him. So I think it's a fair name.
It's like green screen and shit and slanted shoes. It's fascinating.
Green socks and green screen.
No, the things that they do are great. Special effects wise, I think they do a really great job. But that
Carnage
doesn't
Game Hen.
change
All right.
the fact that he's
I would
King
like to
Ricketts.
remind you guys, and I don't know if this character means as much to you both as it means to Allison and I, but this is also the second part of season 1 is where we are introduced to the Duke of Sandringham.
Also, Jenny. I was thinking about Jenny.
Well,
And
Jenny,
Jenny from Lallybroch.
Jenny is super cool.
Purse first. Well, Purse first doesn't happen until season 2, but yes.
But that's
The Duke of Sandringham has his moment in the sun of season 1 in the episode before the witch trial. And that's when he says he's got a sick burn. It's you have such a lovely neck. It holds up your head so prettily. It would be a shame to see them parted.
and then exits Purse first.
Those coats.
No, Jenny from the Lallybroch is great. I thought you were talking about a grown-up Peter Dinklage, which is my nickname for Angus.
No, Angus has all his best shit in season 2.
I think Angus and who's the other guy?
Rupert
yeah.
also has his best shit in
That's-
season 2.
They grow up.
That's when they stop being caricatures and become actual characters.
Jenny.
Jenny's.
Talk to us about Jenny, Kevin.
I don't think words will do it justice.
Can
how I
you
feel
do
about
it
Jenny.
in beat poetry?
Yeah, sure. Okay.
There we go.
Jenny is a lady. Ladies from Lallybroch, hands in the air. You don't even care. Your child is breached, but that's not enough. You need to attack each of the problems that you are facing. Doesn't matter that Jamie's there, you're still in charge. Your husband's wooden leg. Lego my ego. It's not a problem. You're a badass lady from the Lallybroch.
Oh my god, damn.
Yes.
That
You know,
was really good.
Kevin just made sure to shoot me the mic so I could praise him, so I
Praise him.
Guys, I blacked out. What just happened?
All right. I feel that's pretty good on character, unless you
Yes.
guys can think of anything
Yes.
else.
That was amazing.
after beat poetry, we're not gonna do
Well,
that.
no, you know who we haven't talked about, though, who we love, who these dudes would remember because he's in one of those final 2 episodes. Towel.
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 Did you guys have any feelings for Towel?
Not as many as you guys did, man. You guys were, I mean, you gave
You
him a
didn't
name and
relate.
everything.
You didn't relate to his little speech about how right before you die you get a boner.
Yeah, I have a beat poet about it.
No.
No.
Stop the snaps.
Never.
I think he's one of those guys that, which I think is a common thread amongst characters in the series so far, is they get really good arcs for 3 episodes, and they serve their purpose really well, and then they ultimately just die. And I have nothing against or for Towel. I think he served a purpose. He served well when they were ambushed, but I don't really.
This, by the way, is proof that Kevin listens to the show. He knew who Towel was.
Yeah, he did know who Towel was.
Listen, you called me out one time and you said, tweet if you listen to the show, and I tweeted the 2 parties involved. Yes, I've listened.
6 weeks later.
It's the holiday season.
He's an interesting character because he's set up as a villain, and then he turns out to be a little bit more complex than that. You know, I don't think I have much else to say about him
That's kind of
besides
it.
that. Anybody that watched the show knows what I'm talking about with that.
You
so.
guys didn't really wax on Blackjack. Are you saving that for later?
Well, yeah, I think that there's plenty to talk about him. I think that the truest intentions of his character come out over the last episode.
Okay.
So there's really no point to talk about him in the first half of the season or at this exact moment.
Although
Jenny, in context of
second
Jenny
half,
is, you
yes,
know.
the second half includes the moment you were talking about earlier when he laughs when Jamie shows up in the window.
Yeah.
And also his scene with Jenny where she laughs at him when he can't get a boner.
It's also upsetting.
It is very upsetting.
Yes.
Hi, Sophie.
So, costumes. You got the Sassenite costume where she dresses in breeches. Hi, Sophie. You want to be on the podcast? You guys, she can't hear you, so don't cheer for her. She's stone deaf.
She literally positioned herself to be heard from the mic of Kevin.
Yeah.
She also knows that I am horribly allergic to cats and continues to sit in my lap.
We warned you.
It's because she thinks you're Zach Webb.
It's all the hair. Don't
She
Zach
doesn't
Webb
think
so.
anyone is Zach Webb except us.
Guys, can we just to Zach Webb?
Cheers.
To Zach Webb.
A good friend and a handsome man.
Ooh, while we're cheersing people, how about your two fans that came to your live event and brought waffles?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You don't forget waffles. Kudos to you,
No, no.
young
That
ladies.
was
I'm pretty sure you're referring to Megan and Tori, who are
Yes.
fucking awesome.
Yes.
Also, those waffles were delicious. That was really fun. But you know what it wasn't a part of?
This show.
Season 1. Yeah, so let's get back to season 1. Zach Webb, also not a part of season 1 of Outlander. Blink and you'll miss
Sophie.
him.
God damn it.
He's an extra when he's wearing them.
Okay, so we hit all the characters that you guys wanted to talk about, right? We've already hit the moments that stuck with you from the second part. Yes?
Yeah, I mean.
We've got one pillar left, and then we should talk about those last 2 episodes.
Yeah.
So, costumes.
It's
This-
oh yeah, we have to do costumes.
Costumes, really not so much this time because like I said, we got the Sassenette
No, we did this.
costume.
We did the breeches.
Yeah, but we didn't really talk about it. Is
right,
there
we can
any...
Except for
distracted
the
by the
moment where the
cat.
costume becomes the plot.
That's the Sassenette costume.
Oh, no, not that one. I was
Which
thinking
one?
about the water wheel.
Ooh, well, we didn't talk about that. Neil, please elucidate.
I'm talking about where it's where JB goes in the water and he's hiding from the British. And then his shirt gets stuck on the water wheel.
Then his Maze Runner back gets exposed.
Yeah, and then everybody knows he's naked.
And what were your thoughts and or feelings in that moment?
My thought was, oh, this is like a whole thing so that people know that Jamie's naked.
My thought was that the British were coming, and they're probably not the only ones. Welcome,
Kevin?
everybody.
I had no thoughts because I was deep in the heart of a Sudoku.
Okay, all right, sweet. So we don't really have any costume
You know
notes.
what? No, I've got a question.
Yeah.
Can you talk to us a little bit as a semi-professional bodybuilder?
Nope.
Yep, I'll field this. Yeah, go ahead. Ask it over here.
I wouldn't say semi-professional. I would say
Semi-professional amateur bodybuilder?
I would
Nope.
say amateur bodybuilder,
Weightlifting professional?
person who lifts weights,
There you go.
Lifter of weights.
lifter of heavy things.
That could be Neil or
Hoister?
I. You need to
Hoister?
specify.
I mean, okay, Kevin, have you
How
ever
heavy?
Kevin,
That's-
have you ever competed?
No.
Okay, Neil. As a weightlifter, how do you feel about this physique? What goes into it? We're talking about Sam Heughan's body.
Heughan?
Yes, as we always are talking about Sam Heughan's
What type
body.
of protein do you think he ingests?
It's your Welcome Wednesday on a Saturday here at the Podlander Drunk Cast.
Okay, no, I can do this. So, all right. So if I had to guess,
he's more form than function.
no, I don't know about that.
Fair.
But I would say that there is an emphasis on dumbbell incline benching because the inside upper pectoral area is so developed so that it can peek through his poet blouses.
Ooh.
Okay.
And then his traps are pretty good size, so he probably does all that
His
shrugging or
traps are a
something.
little bit, you know what? I didn't realize that until this week, but his traps are a little bit overdeveloped for my taste.
But I bet they make great handles.
No, they're up here.
No, I know.
Oh, Because it's the no neck thing. I told Neil when he started lifting weights, God, however knows how many years ago, that the minute that his neck started kind of morphing into his body, I would divorce him. So he has specifically avoided trap workouts.
Yeah.
But that's a thing. However, like, what do you think his diet is? Do you think he's protein only? Do you think he does carbs? Do you think
I don't know. He's probably paleo or something. I don't fucking know.
Dude, how much can he bench?
How much do you think you can bench?
How much can you bench? One.
No, wait.
No, we'll start there. No. Start there. How much can you bench?
No one's interested in that.
I am
we are.
100% interested.
We'll take that off, Mike.
I'm not.
No, Neil, I want to use
Allison's not.
Hey,
I
Janine,
think
hold on.
In this
Janine,
area, I think
Janine,
Allison probably
are you
speaks
interested?
for
Not
the
interested.
larger listener. Yes, there we go.
No, I'm
Thank you.
interested in the
So
comparison
3 of the
factor.
5 of us believe the listeners don't give a shit. So
There are
let's
going to
move
be
on from that.
tweets.
Make waffles about how much you think Neil can bench.
There are going to be tweets.
Please send us those waffles.
This is how you can tell we're drunk. There's no male mechanism that would provide fake waffles, fresh waffles to us. This is, again, I've been talking since 10 a.m.
Okay.
Neil, how much do you bench?
No, how much is Joey bench?
Yeah, how much can Sam Huon bench?
Neil, the listener wants
How
to
many
know.
cows?
What are you throwing up?
I'm thinking
How many cows is a great example.
for sure he can.
Please chew more into the mic, you piece of shit.
No mouth sounds, come on.
Oh, it's too late.
That's
Turn
the
away from the mic.
juiciest
Turn away.
thing I've
We
ever
all know I don't
seen.
edit this shit out. It just exists.
All right. Sorry, hold on. There's some pickled okra here. I had to deal with that. My guess is that he probably I'm gonna say like 250.
So he could
Whoa.
bench press me, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
You can bench press me.
How much
Holy
are you?
shit.
How much? Just be honest. What's your max?
No one's gonna. He's not gonna answer that.
I'm not going into that.
Okay.
No.
I'm gonna guess. I'm leaving this table right now. Your max is 110 pounds.
Fuck that. No.
Great. 110 it is.
Unless you tell me I'm leaving this table.
We need
thinking
to
that.
we need to
We need to move on.
we need to focus back in on what matters.
This is what the
That's what I'm
listeners
saying.
want. I took a poll.
that packs.
Listeners, call in right
Of
now
two
if you want to
people.
know
Of
how
two
much Neil
people.
throws up.
We don't take phone calls, Kevin.
Nope, phone lines are open.
We should though.
Talk to me about the Neil. Talk to me about the thews.
Yeah, ask him
They
more
look
questions
a
while
little
he's eating.
underdeveloped compared to his upper body.
Ooh,
Views are his
so
thighs,
shade.
right?
So you're
Did he
saying
skip- he
you're
skipped
saying that
live?
they took more time to develop his shoulders and chest than they did to develop the rest of the body, because obviously
Just like Daniel Craig in the James Bond movies.
yeah,
Fuse his legs. right?
thighs, yeah,
Yeah,
thighs.
It's actually technically
No,
not your
Neil,
muscles.
please keep eating while answering these questions.
This is my thing. As long as you guys want to talk about this, I'm gonna eat.
Okay, we're done.
Okay,
This is how you get big, like Neil.
All
all right,
there
that was
was
characters,
Costume.
costumes.
Which we
Done.
did. We did.
Wait, any are there costumes we're missing? Claire wears pants a couple of
No,
times.
nothing. I feel like these costumes, they don't stand out because the reason why they're so great is because they don't stand out.
Unless
Red
those are
shoes.
people dressed as
There's
cows.
Gaelus's naked robe. Don't forget the naked robe.
The naked robe was great. I want to give a shout out to the boob milking scene.
Oh yes, when
which-
Jenny milks her boob.
The functionality of her costume in which it allowed for that to happen so quickly and easily. So let's just give a shout out for that.
What did you guys think about the milking of the boob?
It was cool.
Whatever.
It was just nice
that
to see
just
some
that-
some realness, like some fucking late 1700 upper sky. What? Yeah.
No, you got it. No,
Nope,
keep
I got
eating
this.
fucking food and talking, you dumb dumb.
Some Highland realness. Some the Highland culture is not yet dead. Sort of realness about like we're on the
What
side
did
of the
you
road. I
think
gotta
about
milk
the
this.
separation between the men's story in that episode? Well, not necessarily. Sorry, not necessarily the search, but in the watch when you had Claire and Jenny in the birth and that terrible, horrible, possible breech birth, and then the guys doing whatever they were doing. What did you think about that? What's,
Great question for somebody that
Yeah,
has
no,
insight into that
don't
episode.
remember.
I know that in a breech birth, the feet come out first.
Right?
I know that.
Or anything other than the head. It doesn't have to be the feet. It
Like
could be
the
the
butt?
butt, which
Butt
is
first?
even worse.
Does that happen?
The most rare kind of breech birth. This is a true fact
Yeah.
that I got from the Neil Starbird School of True
Yep,
Facts.
yep, yep.
The most difficult
Accredited.
breech birth is actually purse first.
Hers first.
Ah, the lead-up was great.
As Allison just left the room, that's a walk-off. She's done for the rest of the podcast. That's how good that one was.
Have you guys ever heard of a footling?
Yeah.
Footloose?
I see pictures of it.
I don't know what you're talking
A
about.
footling is when one foot comes out first. So imagine
Just
what
one.
that's like.
Oh my god, that's terrifying.
I
All of this is terrifying. I'm sorry. This is. I don't want to.
I'm gonna eat some more okra.
So hold on.
I'm gonna eat this piece of bread.
Pull that back and let's think about away from the
please don't
fucking
do that.
Pull that back and let's think about her trying to assist in a breech birth with no drugs. Whatever, you guys don't care about.
No, the episode, that's great.
It is
but-
intense. It's an amazing thing. Don't be wrong. Like that is an intense, amazing. Like I can't imagine the fear that could exist in a situation like that.
Thank you, Janine, the
So-
person who's listened to us talk about this episode.
Is this the one where they have to massage her belly, like they're doing the massaging thing?
Yeah, she has to try to turn
For the
baby
record,
around.
Janine can only speak when I float the mic to him, so it's a one or the other.
It's easy because you have nothing to say on this.
Oh,
That's not true. I absolutely think that it's an amazing thing that Claire does. It's an amazing medical feat to say, listen, I don't. Oh, I see what I did there, and I do not like it.
Well, this is a theme from the first part of this of Dudelander season 1, part 1, right? Is the idea that whenever Claire is being a fucking medical badass, it's always fucking cool on this show.
And they do it. The show does it really well in all of them. Like we, for instance, just watched To Ransom a Man's Soul, and you see her set a broken hand without the uses of modern medicine that she's used to, and it's what they do special effects wise to show a compound fracture.
That's wine and not pee. I just want to make sure everybody knows. If you can hear that, that's not.
It's
That's
a little
actually
pee.
that's not true. It's a little pee in myself as well. Neil and I both have very wet pants.
that is a good point, though. I'd never really thought about the fact that she had to set an entire broken hand that was probably broken in like 20 places.
And honestly,
It's a
I
compound
felt like
fracture. She has to put bone back into.
I kind of felt like
Ow.
I felt like I
Honestly,
should have seen more like appreciation on the part of the monk. Like I wanted to see like the camera cut to that brother that's monk that's helping them out. And
Can you help a brother out?
you know,
Hilstein Buddha House.
because I mean, it shouldn't it be like amazing to them that like this woman like
Just
swoops
walks in
in
and is
here
like, excuse
and,
me,
like,
knuckle break.
sets
Come on.
these shattered bones and then sews up the fingers and then sets it in the splint and everything like, and they're all like, yes,
We'll get you more
yes,
water
yes."
and
Well,
cloth.
healers were
Yes.
sometimes female, and after all, she's a
guess.
witch.
Well, also,
But everybody else is amazed that they say like you're the best at the end when she leaves for France, and they say you're the best healer we've ever had. I feel like that should have been an opportunity for the director to say to the actor playing the monk like, "Hey, dude, look
You've
a little
never seen
impressed
this
here,
before.
you know?"
you have literally never seen somebody do this before.
I don't know. God works in mysterious ways.
Well, I just read an article of a study that just came out about how people like to pretend they're more intelligent than they really are, and
A study, huh?
and I don't necessarily think that is a new concept, proven by the fact that I am embodying that entire study right now.
Nerd.
Nerds.
Nerd alert. His name is Janine. He's a nerd.
So there's one episode in this second half that's not one of the 2 episodes that you guys watched last night that I feel like both of you kind of want to talk about a little bit, and that is the search. That is the road trip, the boogie woogie bugle boy, the boogie woogie bugle boy. If you have some thoughts about that, bring it out, and then let's save some time for Wentworth and Ransom a Man's Soul.
Yeah, my first and foremost thought, which is the same one I had when I watched it the first time around. Hey, everybody, Neil just joined the party. Was they did an entire half of an episode based around taking a song from 1945. I don't know when the Andrews sisters recorded it.
Hold,
but
please. Keep talking.
Is it the Andrews sisters?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, Kevin.
Yes. I don't know why they felt the need to do that because all he could think of was
1941.
1941. So it's a song that had been around for 4 years by the time that Claire went through the Dick Rocks. But all I could think of was her taking a song back in time and a time traveling adventure was fucking Johnny Be Good in Back to the Future. That's all I can think of. And first off, Back to the Future posits, to steal something from John Mulaney, that we took Johnny Be Good away from African Americans. Because white people, now Marty McFly took that.
La La Land.
Yeah, no, we also have jazz.
Everything.
I hated it on that reason alone, is that you have a time traveling story. How can you take a piece of music and pull that back with you, knowing that that's already been done to high success in the Back to the Future franchise?
But this time, they changed the lyrics.
Oh, and that makes it so much different, and all of my points are immediately washed away.
Well, no, they take the same song, but then they make it specific to each place that they go, as opposed to Michael J. Fox in Back to the Future only plays it the one time.
The point is not to get his parents' bone. The point is to find. It's not about the enchantment under the sea dance.
This episode is racist.
Oh, this episode's terrible. But the point is to
It's not
find
really.
Jamie.
I just, as a defender of fake news,
Boo earns. Boo
I feel like I
earns.
should say it is actually a traditional folk song that they set to the tune of Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy.
So they
It
took
is actually
the tune.
Bogey Wogie. It's like a
Racist.
real thing.
Yeah.
Neil, you know what? You're racist.
I am racist, but so is this episode.
Hold up. So everybody always wants to focus on the road trip portion of the search. We always forget that the first half of this episode
don't ever
is
forget it.
Claire and Jenny in the woods.
Torturing a bro.
I will admit that I forget that the first half of this is a continuation of A Badass Tale of Two Women.
Yeah. Right.
Until you guys posit on your podcast that somebody, Janine, who can do this, should cut it into one episode of A Badass Journey of Two Women.
It should be. It should
know
just
what?
be.
It should be. No,
know
you
what?
don't get a mic. You don't get a mic. You don't get a mic.
You know what? I'm gonna do it.
You should. It'd actually be a better episode.
You
You just
guys-
remember it.
I don't know how I'm the most sober person at this table, but it happened.
You remember this episode mostly for how it shits the bed so hard.
Yes, well, definitely the murder. Until the beach scene. Yeah, until the beach scene. When it's just Murtaugh and Claire after they've traveled forever and not been able to find Jamie, and he tells her the story of the tusk bracelets.
Also,
That's
the
where
cave
this
scene
happens.
is really good. So, really, when we talk about this episode, we're talking about a great first 20 minutes, a last great 10 minutes. So, really,
And then
it's
a
the
shitty
chunk
20
in the
minutes
middle.
in the center.
And even that has its moments. Murtaugh being cranky about dancing, I'm going to love that forever.
Sometimes you get so far off the path, a compass will never get you back, and you just fucking hate it.
Speaking of which,
Johnny Be Good.
what are we talking about?
Look, you might not like it, but your kids will. Johnny Be Good, Back to the Future reference. Oh! Also, my hand went invisible and then reappeared for a minute, but that's fine. My parents kissed at the Enchantment Under the Sea dance. Guys, you are listening to Back to the Future, starring Kevin.
Okay, hold on.
No, I'm gonna
Yeah.
turn your mic off.
Here we go.
Julie,
Pause.
could you do this?
So I tried to bring the search into it because I knew that it would be an episode that we all fought about, but that was a bad idea. Instead, let's just do this. Let's just let Neil and Kevin have the microphone for as long as it takes for them to talk about their experience last night
Yeah.
and how it went.
All right, sure. We'll just jump right to it.
As
Right?
Real
long as
quick,
as long
real
as it takes
quick.
3 times,
I
and
did-
Will likely be 10 minutes.
You know
Yeah.
what? Meh. Did you hear that? That was me flicking Neil off. Often, as ladies, certainly for me as a lady that was Kevin, as a lady that writes about pop culture for a living, I find myself in the position of having to be the person that talks about what rape means or doesn't mean in things. And it is a rare thing that they actually address sexual assault in men when it's not in a jail.
It is in a jail.
Well, that's true, but not in the contemporary American prison system. How about that?
All right.
It's not Oz.
It's not Oz, and it's not the Shawshank Redemption.
It is a good movie.
It is a good movie. I can't talk about Stephen King anymore today.
It's okay. It's okay.
Anyway, so I think that these episodes are really important from a cultural point of view, and at the time, Julie and I really wanted to be able to talk to a dude about them, and now we have two of you. So feel free to keep being drunk, funny assholes, but if you have actual thoughts about what it was like to experience these two very traumatic episodes of television as men, I would be interested in them genuinely and legitimately.
All right, I'm going to frame the night. So this is the context with which Neil has never seen these episodes, and I have seen them prior. This is the experience. He comes to my home, we go out, we get something to eat, we catch up. It's a very nice time. We come back to my home. It's cold out. It's Chicago in February. So I turn the fireplace on. So there is a fire going.
Cozy.
Very cozy. He is sitting on in the home in which I inhabit.
Sort of like a chaise longue.
It has become like a chaise longue, in that it was 60% of a sectional, but the remaining 40% of the sectional was thrown away in lieu of better furniture.
So just to give an idea of what this looks like, it's like a 3-cushion couch that, and I'm sitting on the right side of it, and Kevin is sitting in a separate chair to the right of me. And to my left, at one end of the couch, the arm sort of rest is normal height. And to the right next to me, and between Kevin and I, is some sort of a barrier that is like 3 times the normal height. So I can't actually see Kevin while we're watching these episodes.
That barrier is where it would have connected to the remaining 40% of the sectional. So it's an unnecessary high wall that, based on the fact that
The point is,
Unnecessary?
Kevin and I can't see each other.
yeah, there is a weird divide in between.
We can see the show.
This is a construct so that two dudes can watch some really sexual stuff together.
No, this is all to provide extreme context for what is about to happen.
Well, it was just a really strange, and it was
It's an odd furniture layout.
it's a weird setup for like two dudes who know that they're getting about to watch like a couple of awkward episodes of television together. And to be real, to all of a sudden realize, oh, and we won't be able to see each other while we're watching.
I don't know if they did this or if they're going to do this in post, but if there's a trigger warning that needs to happen, I think that somebody that's probably more in tune to this should do it, other than myself.
We can play the thing.
We'll play it.
Great.
We've played the thing at this point.
Okay, all right. I just want to make sure that it's there. So,
That's very considerate.
That is
Kevin.
very kind.
Nicely
Thank
done.
you,
well,
Kevin.
it's going to get... We're going to go before the darkest before it gets light. We'll put it that way. So we watch To Ransom, or To Wentworth Prison.
Wentworth
We
Prison
watched
is
Wentworth
first, but
Prison
that
first.
one...
We watch the one that you would trick a human being into not watching.
Yeah, that you would invite them to be a guest on your show to talk about.
We trick them into like, don't watch that one. Like, watch the one after that because
Yep.
that's the one that's not that bad. Oh, so we watched that one, and it's surprisingly,
Fine.
it's a tough
You know,
watch. But
we
you're
get some
like,
hijinks with Angus and Rupert, and
Yeah.
you know,
but then the next episode.
I mean, you're skipping the fucking Christ penetration.
Nailing the hand
well,
to
the
table.
Yeah.
That's
broken
not
hands.
awesome.
No, none of this is awesome.
None of it's
but
awesome, but-
comparatively,
Yes.
yeah.
Truth.
And
We
I
got
feel
Marley.
Like we really, which we had a lot of laughs at Marley.
Painful, awkward laughs, trying to make the night a little less bleak.
Somebody called him Marley and me.
That was me.
Somebody called him Jacob Marley.
That was you.
That was me. Somebody wanted to sing the song from a movie, Christmas Carol.
I guess that was you.
That was 100% me, but we moved past that.
Right now, that's me. Jesus.
Marley and Marley.
Whoa.
So
Anyways.
Kevin and I watched Wentworth Prison. Sort of, I'd seen part of it with Julie when she did her rewatch for season 1. So we kind of skipped ahead to the bits that I hadn't seen, and you know, it was fraught and it was tense, and they had a lot of like the tropes of a good jailbreak thing as she's making her way through the prison, and then the horrible shit at the end where she gets caught out by Blackjack.
And she curses him. I love when she curses him.
Oh,
And
yeah.
that was all super emotional and upsetting.
Yes. However, it was not the most upsetting moment of the night, as I knew, and you in the back of your mind always knew that we had one more horrible
Right,
episode to
right,
watch.
and so we start to ransom a man's soul, and there is, first there's the intro song, and then there's the little weird. Do you guys have a name for this? Where they show like images from the little teaser,
Title card.
the title card, right? And it's like it shows this like Bible stand where there's a Bible and a rosary. And there's what I think is a vial of like holy water, and I'm like, and what's that thing on the left?
There are 3 items.
And Kevin's like, well, I know what that is, but I'm not going to tell you.
And I wasn't. And then as we now know, the vial on the far right was not holy water,
Not holy water, but lavender oil.
And I didn't want to tell Neil what the item on the far left was.
Mm-hmm.
Can I? I mean, I can say it now.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So it is the brand.
With his initials that
Jesus,
he
I
carries
didn't
around
notice
with
that.
him.
Thanks, dudes.
Gosh, I didn't even notice that.
Yes, that's the third. That's the third item on the stand. On the far left.
On the Bible stand.
is the brand. And I knew what it was. I made a silly little funny to divert
Yeah.
attention away from that, because you can't tell somebody that's never seen this. Like, there's a lot that happens in this episode, and then that is one of the highest moments of drama in this entire episode.
Yeah.
Is that moment, and I can't be like, hey,
It's a moment that carries through.
yeah, hey, that's the brand that Jamie's about. I can't do that. So I made a little funny.
Especially not if you're going to try to talk like Kermit the Frog when you're doing it.
Listen, I have 2 voices, and they're either Dick Vitale or Kermit the Frog. Like,
And so,
Do it as Dick
and so
Vitale.
the episode starts, and the episode basically starts with Cal's plan, right?
Yeah.
It basically starts with the jailbreak. And we have the moment, where they come in and they knock the cows. Our plan knock down the door, and we presume Murtaugh thinks Jack Black is dead, and that's why he doesn't kill him. This is all
Jack
this.
Black.
So, Blackjack.
oh no! But now it's Jack Black, and his career
Jack
is
Black
ruined.
Randall. Jack Black Randall. We think he's dead.
Oh my God.
All he's searching for is the pick of destiny.
Mother, what a night it really was. Mother, what a night it really was. Angina's tough.
Okay. All right. Well, we
All right, so-
we always retreat to humor.
So it's true. I mean, most of the difficult elements in this episode take place via flashback.
Right, and I didn't realize that I didn't. Which is to say that as soon as they were breaking him out of jail at the end, there is a horrible moment at the beginning where he's naked and on his cot and his eyes are open, and then Jack Black wakes up behind him.
No, it ruins
and-
it. No,
No,
Okay.
this is great because
Okay.
this image in my head is
Okay.
so clear.
All
I'm
right.
not giving you the mic
no.
for that.
I know because I'm yelling.
But it became clear because obviously I know that horrible things happen in this episode. That as soon as the cows are planned, shit started happening. I've got flashbacks to look forward to, right? But they escape and they've got him in that cart, that like cage shaped cart.
What did you think about Claire and her pants?
I love
I did. I said out loud. I said she's in her Sassenach outfit.
And
Interesting.
which is great because they're her, in my eyes, from a woman from 1945. She knows that she's about to get into a situation where she needs to effectively move quickly. She needs to be able to think about other people besides herself. So she adorned herself in the Sassenach costume in order to say, like,
Be a nurse.
whatever situation I get into, it doesn't matter. Yeah, they're like, it's nurse's garb.
Kevin, do you remember? I actually didn't note this when we went back and watched the pilot, and she's dealing with that guy's leg in World War II. Is she wearing trousers?
It's hard to say because she's wearing
An apron.
She's wearing an apron that's covered in blood, but I
I'm
believe
pretty
they're
sure.
trousers.
I'm pretty sure that it's a dress.
I think it's a dress.
Then I am wrong.
Regardless, it's business time.
It's business time.
It's business
fucking
time.
business.
This time, I'm with you.
Now, it is worth noting that I looked this up, and that cart that they take him away in, it's got like this.
Is this real or is this some fucking Tucker
No, I
under?
fucking looked this up. I
Okay.
just saying, only because. So, do you guys remember they take him away in that wagon? And it's got like this, not mesh, but what is it? It's like a cage.
It's like
sort of
boning.
like
It's-
thing.
It is like
But
boning.
it's like metal, right thing.
Yes.
And that's the reason that was like that is because it was a hunting cart. And so after a bunch of guys had gone out on a hunt in the day, and they would keep that cart central, they could then hang the animals from the wire rack to
Cool.
bleed out
God,
and then
that's a
dry
great
out on the way
detail.
home.
That's really cool.
It's totally a lie.
So it already.
Why do you? We
damn
talked
it.
about this. We're not supposed to admit lies.
Oh, damn.
God.
You had
They
us
got
all
so
fucking
excited,
going.
though.
Then you even reassured
You know
us.
what? Guess what? I'm never going to believe you again.
Yeah, you will.
No, I won't.
You know what, Neil? They invest in fucking accurate historical detail in
Yeah.
this show. It is
Yeah.
not nice to take advantage of our willingness to believe the best of these creators.
And of me.
No,
Yeah,
I
you
don't
know
believe
what?
the best
I
of
should
you.
never believe the best of you ever
We're in a
again.
nice. We're in a nice transitionary moment. Can I ask a question? I asked Neil.
Yeah.
That is a small departure from this episode. So that very cart that Neil lied about, which I wish he wouldn't have, because we could have embellished it for the entire episode, takes everybody to a monastery.
Sorry, you're asking him to not admit his lie. You weren't saying that you wish he hadn't lied about it. Just to be fucking clear, you asshole.
Yeah, no, I don't like when people admit lies because that's a sign of defeat.
Anyway.
You're gonna just eat some okra while you go through
Yeah,
this.
please just eat it right in the
Turn
mic.
your head
no,
away.
Get your lips right in that mic. So they take Jamie to a monastery, and I asked the question very. I knew exactly what I was asking, but I asked Neil straight up.
It's already on.
Oh, God damn it.
I asked, do you think I could pull off one of those monk haircuts?
Yep.
No.
I got a solid yes from Neil.
We're gonna do it that night.
For the record, I
Oh
have.
my God.
I have
That would have been the most
very,
amazing
very
thing.
long hair, which is going to come into play in a moment when we talk about some flashbacks.
Yeah, it is.
I have very, very long hair, and I am in the process of getting a haircut for the first time in
Not like this moment, just so you know.
2 years. But I thought maybe I could pull off one of the monk cuts. They looked all right.
But if you got one of the monk cuts but kept the length, you'd look like Gallagher.
I would look like Jesse the Body Ventura, and I would be okay with that.
Wait, what are we talking about?
Governor.
Sorry,
No,
Jesse
not when
the
he
Mind.
was governor.
You're right, the mind.
When he was the governor, he was shaved. When he was a wrestler, he had the skullet.
Allison's face says we are off the rails. So
Yeah,
Hold
what
on,
are we
let's
talking
back
about?
up.
No. I was making a joke while you ate that bullshit okra into the mic.
So back to these very serious episodes about sexual assault.
Which we deal with through deflecting humor.
They got him out of the prison. They get him into the wagon, which isn't retrofitted for hunters to hang their carcasses from. And then they take him to the monastery.
Don't
What
forget,
happens there?
that's the first time that he freaks out.
In the cart
In the
back,
wagon.
it's because Claire touches him, and it's an odd moment of substituting Claire for Blackjack Randall, which is very telling as to what's going to happen. But I think the monastery is interesting to me in terms of how ready everybody is at the monastery to support the greatest needs and desires of Claire in helping get Jamie. But I think there's one of the monks that says the line like it's not his physical injuries, it's his mental ones. Which brings me back to a point that I make in Outlander or Dudelander 2, whatever it's called. To you, I'm looking to Julie
The
because I can't
dudening.
focus. The dudening.
Dudelander 2, the dudening.
And yes, in Dudelander 2, Electric Doodaloo, they do a really nice job of handling the PTSD that Claire feels, and I think that this entire episode is a testament to how much they want to address Jamie. I can't speak on this topic. I'm so ill-informed and not the right person, but they talk about the mental struggles, which I think is something that we often extremely overlook as a culture and a society in these types of incidents. Why didn't we do this one first, get drunker, and do the sillier one?
No, it's okay. Kevin,
okay.
you're doing a great job. I agree. I think we ignore it in all people, but especially in men, and in situations of assault or war, any sort of trauma, we, as a patriarchal fucking goddamn society,
Suck it
expect
up.
men to be
Nut
manly.
up.
And mental health care is still stigmatized in this country in a way that makes not one lick of goddamn sense.
To me, that's the line that really sticks out. Is like, you can heal his hand all you want, but you can't. You have to heal what's really broken inside of him, which they then take 45 minutes and a couple of flashbacks to get to.
Most of that is the flashbacks, though, so that you can see what happened to him.
Can I now? I just full disclosure, because I didn't see this episode until last night. I didn't listen to your episode discussing it.
Oh,
yet.
you are really in for a treat. Amanda's parents are amazing.
So I haven't listened to that yet.
That is true.
If I'd taken, you know, that's neither here nor there. Something that I was interested or sort of wondering about after I watched that, as I watched that episode last night, is what Black Jack Randall wanted in the moment. And,
to psychologically break Jamie.
well, but here's the thing, and this is getting a little bit granular on a very villainous episode. When he says to Jamie, "Say my name," and Jamie says Claire. What I was trying to decide whether that is what he wanted him to say. And the reason that it would surprise me if it is what he wanted him to say is because the next morning he was ready to kill him. When Jamie says, "You owe me a debt," and Black Jack Randall pulls his knife and is getting ready to give him the death that he promised him, which makes it seem like Black Jack Randall is going to kill him. So it makes me think that what Black Jack Randall would have actually wanted him to say in that moment was for him to say Jack, or, you know, to say his actual name instead of saying Claire, because the way it feels is that by having him say Claire is that he's inserting himself into their relationship, and now he's like ruining their relationship by your feelings for your wife, and
That's what he wanted.
intimacy with your wife will forever be ruined.
That's what he
by this
wanted.
moment, except that he was totally ready to kill him the next morning,
I think-
which seems to be at odds with that, right? Like, I am going to give you the death I promised you. It seems to be the thing until he hears cows are a plan out in the hallway and goes to check out what's going on.
I think that it's not that he wanted to forever ruin their relationship. I think he wanted to take advantage of the relationship to get Jamie to acquiesce to an actual
Yes.
sexual experience.
Okay.
And then to bring him back, right? There's a lot of the lavender oil and the hair, and Claire's here, she's with you, so that he'll get off, basically.
Well, he
right?
asks-
And then he does, and that is the thing that breaks him before the branding.
He asks, "What hold does she have over you?" And I think it's not like how can I replicate that hold, but it's how can I take that hold and then myself also put that hold over you. And it comes through in the lavender oil of him treating the extreme wounds that he's already given him. Because very early on into that endeavor, he assaults him very early on, and you can tell for both parties where Blackjack wants
He
that to.
spits in his hand. Oh.
I mean, we also have Brokeback Mountain. That's just what you have to do. Some of us own it, guys. I'm still single.
That's a really good movie.
That's a great movie.
My
but
grandmother saw that movie in a movie theater. It was the last movie she saw in a movie theater. And she said, "I don't know why everyone's so upset about gay marriage. You love who you love."
Oh, fuck yeah.
Mama.
How do I take that and transition back to what I'm about
I'm
to
just
say?
saying that brought back a memory.
Oh, my God.
Just like Black Jack Randall is trying to create.
To bring back memories.
But he has that moment early on where he's like, "I can just physically overpower you. Your hand is broken. You're chained. I can just physically overpower you." And it's much like what he did with Jenny from the Lollybrock, where it's not that level of satisfying that he ultimately wants. Like, he doesn't say, his whole thing with Jamie is that I don't want to just bone you.
It's like you're dead. It's what is it?
I
he
need
says?
you.
It's
I
like
need you
you're
to
dead.
like. Yeah. When he first
wants
kisses him,
to
he's like
submit,
kissing a
not
corpse.
to be overpowered.
Yes, because it's not about.
But this is what I'm saying, is that ultimately the submission he gets is not to him, but to Claire.
But
No, I think it's that Black Jack Randall has effectively psychologically tortured him into a point where he would submit to anything.
Where he can give in to physical pleasure because his senses are overwhelmed and there's a part of his brain primally that thinks that he's with his wife.
But I think the reason that this ultimately fails to break Jamie is because all of the submission that Jamie exhibits, ultimately all the sexual submission that he exhibits, is all tied to his memories and his love of Claire. Which is why at the end,
But
Claire is the one.
He calls Blackjack Randall Claire.
No, that's what I'm saying. And so that's the mistake in quotations I'm making, that Blackjack Randall makes, is by using Claire as the inroad,
As his
the
cudgel.
egress for that.
Yeah.
That instead of because he doesn't break the connection between Jamie and Claire, but uses the connection between Jamie and Claire, the connection between Jamie and Claire is ultimately what saves Jamie.
That is very insightful, Neil.
That's incredible.
I think you're absolutely on the right path.
But then-
can we make funnies now? Because
But hold on.
Go ahead, I just want to say, nailed it.
Badly timed, but okay. So here's a question. After he gets rescued and then is freaking out every time he sees Claire and every time Claire tries to touch him,
Yeah.
explain that.
Well, that I don't think. For
Is
me,
it
that
just
doesn't
from being
seem-
touched intimately? Is
Well,
it
it's the essence of drama.
it's
Oh my God.
Lavender.
It's-
You just
You
ruined all
stop
your
it.
goodwill.
You just ruined everything you just said. You just
gonna make a real
You
point.
just tuck her under.
Oh, I'm sorry. All
You
right.
tuck her
All right.
under
All right.
everything
Sorry.
you just said.
Unique
Oh, wait.
courage yourself.
You guys. Kevin would like to make a real point.
No, now I don't want to.
Because it's not actually real.
Yes, it is.
I was
Come
actually
on.
going to make a real point,
No,
but
you
now I
guys
just want to
do.
make a silly. Can
No,
I?
I want to hear. Actually, Kevin, tell me what
I
tell
wrote
me
a
what you're
poem
gonna say.
about this.
No, tell me what you're gonna say.
No. Oh, Janine.
Everybody hit pause.
Welcome back, everybody. The sound you heard before you heard yakety sax was Janine just spilling her wine, and that's not a euphemism. It's actually what happened.
It was everywhere.
It just went everywhere. It's easy to say. It was like if it had spilled on a body, it would have gone into every crevice.
I just got excited.
So, just to remind you where we were before yakety sax.
Before Janine fucked him with the go.
before the great wine spill near expensive equipment of 2017. We were talking about how Blackjack's use of Claire to emotionally torture Jamie was perhaps, in Neil's estimation, a mistake because it allowed him to have a lifeline back to the world through his relationship. Then he said, nailed it. Then Julie was asking, why then was Jamie so tortured in To Ransom a Man's Soul in the monastery? And it's not just because of those haircuts. And Kevin was about to answer, and then wine went everywhere. Kevin?
Oh, well, I was about to say those haircuts are on point, so it was never those haircuts' faults.
On fleek.
That's all I had to say, so we can move on.
Don't say that. Too old.
No, I think I think going the route that he did through using Claire to get to Jamie, I think that is the most effective way to truly get to his core, because it is the thing that he lives and dies for, which I think is what causes him so much turmoil at the monastery, is that he knows what he experienced. And he's not in any way going through a dream state. He knows what he experienced, because that episode starts with him waking up the next day, eyes open, and Blackjack Randall is waking up, and he's aware. He has not slept a lick.
And then he asks to be killed.
Yeah. It starts that way.
And Randall is about to oblige.
About to do it, and then 19 cattle come in.
And then cows are playing.
It's the weirdest way.
Do we really know that Blackjack is going to kill him?
Yes.
Oh, I think he is.
Yes.
I mean, I think one of the things that makes
Yeah.
Blackjack Randall such an interesting villain is that he is a deeply horrible person who is also, to a very limited extent, a man of his word. That is true. It's actually even more true in the books, but we see that in season 2 when his brother is ill.
But what
But
else?
we see that in this season too, that when he makes this deal to save Claire.
Yeah, he lets her go.
Like, I will let Claire go. I give my word I will let her go if you give your word that you will submit. And his core belief
But
is
he
that
lets
if,
her go into a pit of dead people.
He still lets her
but
go.
he knows he's letting her go. He knows she should be
He
safe.
does not expect her to die from that fall.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, but
does he
his-
expect her to actually get out of that pit? I
That's
think
not.
that it's,
That's not the agreement, though. The agreement is to let
Let
her
her
go
go.
from the boundaries of that.
I don't think
of that
he's.
person.
I don't think he's splitting hair. I don't think he's making like a devil's
I
bargain
don't
where he's
either.
splitting hairs about.
I don't think he's trying to
you
kill
know,
her.
like-
I think he's letting her go and then not caring whether or not she lives after he lets her out
No,
the
but he's
door.
letting her go, right? He's
Right.
out the door.
But obviously to
My-
Jamie, that's different.
But my point is that for Blackjack Randall, his word, he expects that I give my word, you give your word, we will both honor it. Anyway, sorry, Kevin.
No, it's fine. You just derailed my entire point, and it's just completely gone.
Mission accomplished.
Don't be a dick, Kevin.
I can't believe I swung this
Kevin,
mic.
come on.
over-
Go
over
back,
for you.
get back to your point.
No, I think that the truly the only way to get Jamie to submit is through the usage of Claire, which is why when he gets to the monastery, it is. If Jamie were to survive, right? Like, so if Blackjack was like, listen, we made this agreement, but I failed it in some way, which ultimately happens, he gets out alive. He knows that he has to get him to submit. It's not that he has to get him to want death or that he wants to get him to be comfortable with dying. It's he has to get him to submit to Blackjack Randall. That's what's most important. So he's got to get there the only way that he can. And then you see the lingering effects of the fact that Jamie should have died in that prison cell. He should not have gotten out of that place at all. And so because of the
because
fact
he asked to be killed.
he has to be killed. That was the deal. Like, but even if
The death of the manner of your choosing was the specific deal.
but even if Blackjack would have been like, listen, I don't care, he's still gonna get hung that day. Hanged. I'm so sorry that the old E
Okay,
puts me in.
Luke, stay on target.
All right, but so now that that Jamie has found himself inexplicably safe from that environment, the only way that you can truly submit at that point is to do a like, my soul is given to Claire, but I have to take my soul away from Claire and give it to somebody else. And so Blackjack has to use Claire to get him to that point, which is why she makes that whole argument about when you branded yourself, you didn't you physically branded your body, but you didn't lose your heart or soul. Because Blackjack wants him to brand his heart, but he ends up branding his
that's
oblique.
a really good point. Yeah.
His side.
It's not his heart, because his heart still belongs to Claire, so he goes southern to his obliques just to pacify him.
Oh Jesus, that's some heavy
Interesting.
fucking-
And this is, Kevin, that is an excellent point. And it's a great transition to a moment I'm sure none of us want to skip, which is when Murtaugh takes a slice out of Jamie and throws
Expertly,
And then
like
throws
he's
it on the
done it
fire.
a million times before.
Maybe he has. And then he throws it on the fire like cracklins.
Murtaugh slicing off nipples since 1747. Seriously,
I do wanna point
that
out,
dude
though-
knows what is up. He's just like
they do
shook and
steal
off
cattle.
and in the fire.
Maybe the cattle were branded, and so he's used
totally.
to.
No, you put burnt flesh into a fire to burn. That
Kevin,
monastery smells
did
like
I not
butt.
say last time we
No,
were
it
watching
smells like
this
cracklins.
that he looks like he
Does
looks,
not smell like
Yes,
cracklins.
it does. It smells like pork
Burnt,
skin.
burnt
it smells
flesh
like
burning.
the long pig.
It smells like pork skin because that's what human cooking smells like. Is like pork.
Oh boy, let's bring it back.
Long
Just
pig.
saying, people smell like pig.
So
Long
this
pig.
episode ends with Claire knocked up. Did you guys see it coming with all the puking and whatnot, or no?
I had seen season 2 before I saw these last 2 episodes.
Okay, that's true.
Kevin.
No, I didn't say
Okay,
that she was
fine.
pregnant. No.
Neither did I, so fair enough.
Okay.
But then again, I'm kind of like a man in that I'm never going to have kids.
I'm also like a man in that I hope that anyone I have sex with never has a
Meaning
kid.
that you might have kids, but you don't have to be responsible for them?
Whatever, I'm never going to have kids.
Guys, we're in a marriage
Okay,
squabble,
so-
right?
No, I mean, he knows it.
On a scale of a 10 ouncer of OE
Oh fuck!
It's not nearly enough.
Horrible.
Why does that even exist?
I don't believe that's in production.
to
You need at least 64.
a magnum of lukewarm, flat, skunked Coors Light.
Oh,
This
fuck.
is a
How
horrible.
deeply
This is upside down,
uncomfortable
fucking level.
were those episodes for you?
Oh.
Okay,
The
fair enough.
welcome.
best moment, so we
Okay.
explained the geography of my furniture layout. The
Yeah.
best moment was when all of this
I meant the
shit-
episodes you watched, hun, not the one you're on right now.
Oh,
No. He's talking about.
I'm talking specifically
last
about
night.
this endeavor
Okay.
that I had with Neil Starbird.
Okay.
At a let's say a particularly tough moment to get through, knowing the architecture of my couch layouts, Neil leaned as far as he could to his left so that he knew that I would be able to see his human body, smiled, waved, and said, "Good stuff," and we went back into it. So I gotta say, I don't fully understand your scales because every moment that it should have been the worst thing I've ever watched with another man in my apartment, Neil leaned over as far as I could see,
Neil made it more like a prosecco.
smiled, waved, and said, "Good stuff, buddy."
Neil gave it a little bubble.
So your scales are tough.
And with that, we'd like to thank our Patreon patrons. So here is to you, Amanda Newton, Beth Locke, Molly Layton, La Docteur Ivre, Lara Magnuson, Friday Payton, Jen Lander Drunklin, and Kathleen Moniz, who, as far as I know, has still never listened to an
Probably
episode.
never still listened.
When did we get a wonderfully French name on our list?
I wonder, is that Dr. J? La
It might be
Docteur
Dr. J teaching us fundamentals.
Anyway, we love you guys all. Also, thank you to all of our other many wonderful patrons. You guys are the best. The fact that you support the show makes it possible for us to do this stuff. It's just wonderful. While we are in Droughtlander, we are still going to crank out content for you. Do not fear. Next, we're going to do a costume episode. We're going to do some what we hope is going to be in season 3 episodes. We'll do some character studies. We might do like a deep dive into some of these IMDb pages. We'll watch a little EastEnders for the good old Annette Badland.
What's that?
It's a British show.
You don't have
I
to
think.
watch it. It's
Who's
fine.
on it?
Annette
doesn't
Badland.
matter.
Nunya.
Mrs. Fitzgibbons.
Oh, all right.
I'm sorry, Julie. Nunya who?
We will
Business.
bros. We will continue to create stuff for you to listen to. We will also probably, hopefully, independently on a different thingy, so you're not all subjected to it if you are not interested.
Different thingy.
iTunes feed, a different iTunes feed. Be talking about RuPaul's Drag Race. Even if we have to do that in my snowball microphone in my home because Janine didn't
Fine.
sign on for Drag Race
Girl.
coverage.
We'll figure it out. Don't worry.
Great. But you know what? Janine and I have watched Drag Race together. He's on board. We even then watched, what was the name of that god-awful show?
Prince Charming.
Finding Prince Charming. That's right.
Prince Charming. It was so, good.
Bad. So bad. So bad.
So
Anyway.
good, so bad.
So the point is, we're going to do another little show that if you like this one, you will probably like that one. But we will also come up with some good, great, wonderful things for you to get drunk and listen to along with us. If you have episode suggestions, let us know. Follow us on Twitter at PodlanderCast. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/PodlanderCast. You can back us on Patreon, patreon.com/PodlanderCast.
Sophie.
You can also follow Mr. Kevin Lambert on Twitter at not Kevin L.
That's it.
Neil's also on Twitter, but he's literally never used
still
it.
an egg.
Am I really?
Yeah.
Yes.
You're still an egg, buddy.
He's on it to a point
Yeah,
where
I
he
guess if
doesn't
I
know
can
he's
check
on it.
Twitter, then I'm on Twitter.
Yes.
Yeah.
Man.
He doesn't use it. So don't worry about it. Just anything you want to send to him, you can send to Julie.
Who's Julie is?
That's my favorite.
Julie is
That's the way.
Julie.
That's the way I want to live my life. Anything you want to send to me, just send it to Julie.
Fuck you.
My Twitter handle is at Julie Starbee. That's JuliesTarbee.
And you can find me at Allison Shue.
And if you can find Janine at Pagel, like bagel, PAGEL _ Aaron, AARON.
And please tell us if you have things you want us to talk about in this long, long wait to September, but we do not intend to leave you high and dry. There will be plenty more content. Amanda suggested that Julie and I read some Sam Sykes books. That's Diana Gabaldon's son. He's a really good writer. Julie, don't make that face. He's a really good writer.
Okay, I don't read the books though.
It's not, he doesn't write Outlander books.
Yeah, but I don't read the books.
Anyway, there's a...
What's happening over there? What?
I dropped something. I dropped a thing. Sorry.
It's fine. I got it. Thank you
All right,
very
sorry.
much. It's just been a wonderful show, and I think Kevin's almost done with his beer, which signifies
I guess the show's over.
Sing me a song of a lass that is gone. Saith at last be I. Something is sailed on a day over the sea to sky.
Something.
Rivers and seas, summers and breeze, mountains and birds.
Neil actually knows the words.
All that was gone, all that was gone, all that was me is gone. Oh God, this is terrible.
Sing me a song of a lass that is gone.
I'm Janine. Bye.